According to your piece, we have the opportunity to recenter higher education. How would this best be achieved?
Well, I think that will, first of all, and I think this is the same thing is true with rebundling.
Mm-hmm.
It will look different at every institution, right? It'll look different at different types of institutions. So how it's going to look at Georgetown is going to look probably on the surface more like polishing, tweaking, incrementally revising the system. How it's going to look at a community college or state university, et cetera, could look really different.
Mm-hmm.
And then each school in each of those categories will have their own sort of local variation. So it's going to look different in all those places. I think there's a couple of things that are features of this rebundling and recentering. One is, I believe, people finding ways to create some closer connections between the curriculum and the co-curriculum, or between classroom learning and learning that goes on outside the classroom. Doesn't mean that there won't be lots of classes that are just theoretical interactions between faculty and students. And it doesn't mean that there isn't some co-curriculum that just should stay out in the co-curriculum. But there are some really key bridges that could be made much better. Undergraduate research, study abroad, some kinds of internships, community-based research, finding ways to connect students to faculty-led inquiry. So part of the recentering is trying to make the most of those connections. I think part of the recentering is also taking some of the large introductory courses, or what's sometimes called the commodity courses, those 20% of courses that have 80% of the FTEs, mostly at the introductory level, and thinking about how to make them the best, most effective introductions to inquiry and higher order thinking they can be. And to do that, there's a lot of adaptive technologies that can be deployed in that, depending on the field. So part of recentering means that if you're teaching an introduction to something, that you're doing it in a way that is most effective, most tied to the local university, has the highest impact on students, helps students get to higher order thinking as quickly as possible. And then I think the recentering also may be that people will start to think about how can students have even more say in how they kind of craft their own pathways through an institution. I don't know what the future of majors and minors are going to be, but I suspect that the ability to kind of customize your pathway and to be able to see more information to do that customization, ways to do that will only be on the increase.